Hello, my friends at First Steps. I hope you're all doing well. Miss Chastity here. This week we have been learning about space and reading our first ever chapter book together. So, friends, this week we've been reading Little Kid's first big book of space. The first chapter we read, or the first thing we did together, is that we looked at our solar system, and then we read chapter 1, which was all about which was all about looking up from the earth. And it was about the sun and the moon and stars. And then we read chapter 2. And chapter 2 was called Earth's Neighborhood. In Earth's Neighborhood, we went through all of the planets in the solar system and we discussed their names, like Mars, Venus, Earth, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. And then this week we are going to read today we're going to read Earth's Other Neighbors. Asteroids and other objects fly through space. Earth's Other Neighbors, Chapter 3. So let's get started, friends. Asteroid Belt. A ring of rocks orbits the sun between Mars and Jupiter. The rocks are asteroids. Thousands of them race around the sun in a ring called the asteroid belt. Asteroids are kind of like leftovers. They are the leftover bits and pieces of rock and metal in space that did not become planets or moons. The asteroid belt separates the rocky planets and the gas planets. An artist shows what it might look like when two asteroids crash. Look, that's what it may look like if two asteroids crashed into each other. Asteroids up close. Most asteroids are quite small. Some are less than a mile around, while others are more than 500 miles. Scientists at NASA sent a spaceship named Dawn to an asteroid called Vesta. Turn the page to find out where Dawn goes. Here's Dawn. On one asteroid named Ida surprised scientists by having a moon, which they named Dactyl. If you could name a spaceship, what would you call it, friends? I like that name. Cirrus. The word dwarf means small. Dwarf planets in our solar system are smaller than the 8 big planets. Cirrus is one of the 5 dwarf planets. Dawn, the spaceship you read about on the last page, is headed to Cirrus. It is supposed to arrive in 2015. With Dawn's help, scientists hope to learn more about asteroids and dwarf planets. Dawn is as big as an 18-wheel truck. It's not very big, friends. Counting big planets plus dwarf planets, how many planets are there now? So we have 8 big planets and 5 dwarf planets. So we have 8 big planets and we add 5 more. Let's see, we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 planets, friends. Pluto. Friends, whenever Miss Chastity was in school and I was learning about the solar system and the planets, everyone thought Pluto was just a regular planet. But now it's not. Far beyond the asteroid belt and Cirrus and past Neptune is another belt of objects. It's called the Kuiper belt. This is where you can find the dwarf planet Pluto. Pluto used to be called a planet where when your parents were in school, or Miss Chastity, they probably learned about 9 big planets, including Pluto. But recently, scientists decided it is too small. They now say it's a dwarf planet and that there are only 8 big planets in our solar system. And it takes 248 years to orbit the sun. And Pluto spins backwards, also like Uranus and Venus. The moon Charon is about half as big as Pluto. That is a very big moon. Pluto has 3 smaller moons too. The same side of Charon always faces Pluto, as the moon orbits the planets, just as Earth's moon does. This shows you how huge Pluto would look in the sky if you were to be standing on the moon. In 2006, the United States sent a spaceship towards Pluto. It's called New Horizons. It should reach Pluto in July of 2015. That is the same year that Dawn is supposed to arrive at Sirius. What an exciting year in space. Friends, Pluto, did you guys know that Pluto was named by an 11-year-old girl? What would you name a planet if you could? Haumea, Eris, and Makemake. Haumea, Eris, and Makemake are three more dwarf planets in the Kuiper Belt. Scientists think that that's a long time ago something smashed into Haumea. That crash may have caused chunks of Haumea to fly off, becoming the two moons Namaka and Hayaka. Comets. Ooh. There are billions of comets in the Kuiper Belter. A comet is sort of like a huge, dirty snowball. It is made of icy gas and rock. Comets have huge orbits and travel around the sun. Sometimes a comet travels close enough to the sun to begin to melt. When that happens, a tail forms behind it. A comet's tail can be very long and beautiful. It sometimes stretches for millions of miles. And a comet that crashes into the sun is called a sun grazer. Some comets are found in the Kuiper Belt. They take hundreds of years to orbit the sun. Other comets are found far beyond Neptune. Those comets can take millions of years to orbit the sun. All right, friends, that is the end of chapter 3. Tomorrow we will read chapter 4, Far, Far Away. Until next time, friends, Miss Chastity will be wishing you well.